Hi, this is Jim Janossy. I'm your instructor for Gph-205 for the autumn term. I've built this course to be totally online, but not the stale kind of online where you wind up just flipping pages and such. Actually, I do a lot of videos in here, and you get the benefit of the same lectures that I would have otherwise given in class. Now, I've taught this course for several years, and I've refined it over those years. It's now in 5 units, 5 two-week units, and here you're looking at the very first of those units. This unit covers ancient history and even prehistory, from 30,000 BC all the way up through the Roman Empire. Now, that's a vast sweep of time. And we really can't do it justice if we were looking at everything that happened during that period. But what we're looking at is very specialized. We're looking at the art created by the various civilizations in that time period, starting with the people of Lascaux and Altamira in Spain that made cave paintings, that is, paintings on the walls of caves. And the first couple of chapters in the book talk about why we think they did that and how they did that. And the how is a big part in this course because we're looking at the technologies that artists have used through the ages. So we move pretty swiftly forward from the Lascaux peoples and the Altamira people to ancient civilizations where things were recorded about them. For example, such as the Sumerians and the Egyptians and the Persians, the Greeks and the Romans. We'll see how one civilization might have borrowed from another and then refined the techniques and the materials that were used to create artworks. We'll also take a look at the purpose of those artworks. Gombrich does a very good job of explaining to you in the story of art what the purposes were in various civilizations, and those purposes varied quite a bit. We'll also take a look at the constraints and the rules upon the artist. What constrained them to create art in the way that they did? And that varied quite a bit between civilizations also. We'll take a look at what the civilization thought of the artist. Very easy to think about this in ancient times and all the way up, almost without exception, to the time of the Renaissance. Artists were thought of as tradesmen, the same as a barrel maker or a shoemaker, somebody that plied their trade because that was what they were good at. It wasn't their job to create anything original. That came later. It was their job to create things in the pattern or the image that the society envisioned that art should take for the purpose it was supposed to serve. So this first chapter covers quite a grand sweep of history. There's also a couple of very small readings associated with every one of the chapters. These are readings that I've purposely refined down and distilled into some manageable form. I call them 10-minute topics. They're very small. Many of them refer to videos that are set up for you to view, and some of the links themselves go directly to videos that amplify what the textbook talks about or supplement the textbook in ways that are necessary. You do have to do the readings, and you do have to watch those videos, and you want to get started on that fairly soon. I suggest for you 2 weeks per unit, but if you read through the welcome information at the website at the Start button, you'll see that you have some flexibility in that, because this course, it can in some ways be self-paced. It's just that if you start off with a very leisurely pace, you're going to wind up with a very hectic pace at the end, because all of the units add up, and the unit grades constitute 60% of your grade. There's also a reflective essay, which is very easy to do, by the way, because of the notes that you build up during the course, which are part of the graded items that each unit has you do. There's also a final exam, and there too, what you're doing throughout the units builds towards a final exam. There is an exercise in each unit that you can do any number of times, and the final exam is built from those exercises. The exercises are key to the units, but in a course like this that has a final exam, I leave those exercises open for the entire course, right up until 5 minutes before the final exam. So take a look at what this course is constructed like. It's different than other courses you might have taken, perhaps other online courses. This one does not rely very heavily on discussion boards. The material we cover is very well documented in the textbook and the videos. There isn't really too much that could be added to it by asking you to make postings and critiquing the postings of others. This course presents a lot of facts, and those facts pretty much come from the sources I've given you. So regard me as a mentor in this course. You can ask me any kind of questions you like, And if they're good questions, I might ask your permission to post them publicly so that the answer might be available to other people. If I do that, you'll certainly know about it before I do it. Well, that's about as much as I'm going to tell you right now. You'll see my smiling face coming at you in various stages of disrepair as these lectures progress. There are 5 lectures and 5 previews in each one of the units, 1 for each chapter. We'll take 5 chapters per unit. There are 5 units. We cover the first 25 chapters of the Garbridge textbook. You also need the workbook, which I constructed purposely for this class because many of the readings and the exercises come from there. All told, the books are not expensive. They're less than $50, and you should have been able to acquire them by this time. If not, you still have some time to do that. I have put on reserve in the library 5 copies of The Story of Art, both at Lincoln Park and at the Loop campus. So if nothing else, you could do some readings there. Let me know if you have any questions. Use the dedicated email address to contact me. It's gph-205autumn@gmail.com. That's gph-205autumn@gmail.com. That's the address at which you communicate with me, and that's also where you send your completed work. Have fun!